Welcome to another community weaving. And I always want to go back to the definition, right? This is association. Do a lot of wonderful things. We can have a mission, we can do things, but this is community. I think it's really important that we be clear about what that is. Because if we have this, but we're requiring this, they're different moves. There's different levels of vulnerability. And it's, at least I found it's useful to be clear about what we're doing. So here you are welcome to eat, lay down, go to sleep, puddle in the kitchen, because it's as if I had y'all in my house. And we just doing, we just being together. And part of that being together is holding whatever is arising for each other. In my tradition, it's like coming to the altar, because stuff isn't so heavy when it's shared, you know. And then we see other people's stuff. I'm not the only one. No, baby, you're not the only one. So I invite you to come bring whatever you are holding, want cared for, to this altar of our community, knowing that in this place, we're not late, we're not wrong, and we certainly are not sorry. We have intentionally and on purpose, I know it means the same thing, but it don't matter, developed the capacity to be human together, without anybody giving the side eye. So, as you might want to put it in the chat, or you just might want to know that there are people here that care about you if you don't have the capacity to share what it is. But I would invite you at this moment to bring whatever you would like to have cared for or what's alive for you to this communal space.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to go. Um, my name's Eric. I use he, they pronouns. And I'm enjoying an overcast early autumn evening here in Minneapolis on the ancestral lands of the Dakota and Ojibwe and others. I think what I'd like to bring to the altar today is I was very fortunate to be on a retreat for 7 days last week at this very cute little center, like an hour away in like the middle of these farm fields in Minnesota. And the land was really beautiful. And I think I want to just name my general sense of discombobulation working now, like back into, I don't know, thrown into reality that I wanted to like continue thinking I didn't have to ever deal with again. And not like anything in particular, just like, I don't know, protocols and procedures and like existing in society and feeling clumsy a little bit around that. But playful too. But also, I'd like to bring to the altar just celebrating the sweetness that I experienced because it was also my birthday over while I was on retreat. Um, I had just turned 33, and I don't know. I don't know what that number means, right? But I feel ready for it, like ready for my actual like grown and growingness, and it feels like it fits me right now. And I feel really fortunate that I was able to experience that on retreat. Um, I'm trying not to say too much about it because it's still like really sweet and tender. Oh, bye, Miss Ayesha. She's like, too much. It's too much, Eric. I'm out. So for those watching the recording, Miss Ayesha just dropped off. I'm sure she'll come back when and if the time is right. Um, yeah. So just that's my contribution to the altar. Um, and I appreciate you all listening to me. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Thank you. I'm going to very rudely be on my phone. Oh, no. What would Miss Ayesha say? Don't worry about it, Eric.
We love you,
Make sure that
Eric.
Miss Ayesha's like, got what she needs. For those who are watching the recording, Miss Ayesha is back with us, and we're picking up right up where we left off.
Yeah, yeah. Just moving in the flow. I mean, that's life, right? Nothing to be mad about or upset about. It's just that's what happened. And so tonight I wanted to share, I truly believe what Thich Nhat Hanh said, right? The next Buddha will be community. And by that he meant community, not association. So the title of the offering was Still and Stillness. And I wanted to talk a little bit about still as in it's still the way it is. The body is still doing what it's doing. And that's such a hard thing to be with sometimes. Right? Because so often the contract is I'm going to be a certain way, I'm going to do certain things, and things will change. And still, they don't. I'm on that diet the doctor put me on. I'm taking the medicine. I'm walking backwards. I'm doing whatever the thing is, and still. And what makes this path, I believe, so beautiful and heartbreaking is that we have chosen to be aware of the and still. I protested and still. I gave you my last and still. I loved you as much as I could love you and still. And this path, I believe, certainly brings me, perhaps brings us to that truth that samsara. So much of this stuff is cooler to talk about than it is to live. Right? This makes for good conversation. People know that you about that life, you know. But particularly as we now have moved into this season, is an invitation. Zenju Earthland, in her book about darkness, says the stuff gets birthed in the dark. This isn't, nothing's wrong. And still. So inviting us all to be with this apocalyptic time. There'll be various institutions. We're coming up on these holidays, HOLLA days, this time that spirit and even nature herself, at least in the northern hemisphere, is saying, yeah, maybe you want to go a little deep. But we're about to go into the holla days, these days. This, it's different looking at the apocalypse from a distance, as we in the West have been looking at the apocalypse from a distance, at the apocalypse. I can remember growing up and looking about, they call them banana republics, and look at the rich people living in all the highfalutin places and the poor people in the favelas. And here we are. It's not so distant. And we born in this material privilege, or at least in sight of it. And as we connect more and more to what's going on, we may feel like, yes, I'm going to do something about it. And we are, and we aren't. Because no matter what we do, still. So how to be with that? What does this journey, this community, these connections support us to be with this still? I'm going to stay on this a little bit because I think there is such a nature of us to push it back, because we know how to be good. Some of us in the social justice world and that pull to, okay, I'm gonna work harder and this gonna happen and that gonna happen. And this awareness is not saying don't do anything, but I believe it's saying and still. So many people, I have been in communities, they've switched up the language, but I live in the targeted communities, where 501c3s come to do good. Well, I don't know. I wonder if they are they doing good or are they doing a mission, which is not necessarily good for the people that they're targeting. And they get mad at us because I've been here 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and still. Is that. There's a gospel song says, no matter what we do, I look to the rock to hide my face. The rock says there ain't no hiding place around here. Oh, this is a rough practice. That's why Buddha said, I'm going to the beach. People ain't gonna do this stuff. People ain't, no. We ain't doing this. There is no reward in the end. There is only life. And then I'll take that last exhale, and then there'll be something, or maybe nothing. I'll let y'all know if I can. But what to do with that? What to do with I only been eating organic food and my stomach still hurt. I have met all the metrics of what it means to do the right thing, and it still hurts. I believe this path tells us that there's a different kind of still that has never been abused, that has never been lied to, that has never accepted lies. That is that stillness within us that it don't go nowhere. It stays there. We know it's there, but we have to track back. Some of y'all know I ride with this really cool movie, which I can't think the title of it is now, but the guy gets out of prison, but he has to swim through 3 football fields full of shit to get free. Shawshank Redemption. That's what it's coming. Yeah. And the reason why I know I have struggled getting to the stillness is because we got to go through all of that stuff, all of that delusion, all of that. But I got straight A's in school. All of that. It's not just the nasty. Sometimes, I've thought no, it's the stuff, my good stuff. I got to give that up too. I got to give up this idea of myself as I didn't do nothing wrong that time. That's the part I like, Yeah. I got to be like this Black woman enslaved, and she's got this white baby in her lap that she absolutely knows that this child's going to grow up and call her a nigger, sell her son, and rape her daughter, and she don't cut his head off. A lot of people don't connect with the spiritual majesty of my people. I think they think that we don't have no choices. There was no choice to be made. She had to do that. But I'd like to investigate her choice as a dharmic path, because she gonna rock and care and hold and love and be present to and still. And I believe she was only able to do that because she had interrogated the delusion upon which she was living in and chose not to connect to it. We're running around with all our receipts, all of our tickets to get to the promised land, to get out of this, I'm not going to be bothered with people. I'm not going to trust nobody, because I trusted people. I trusted somebody 4,477 times, and they broke my heart. They took my money. But that stillness doesn't care about that. That practice, whether we are chanting up some medicine Buddha, calling in the energies of the 7 homecomings, Matara, Amida Buddha, all of those are portals to that stillness within that is in no way connected to what somebody gonna do or how I'm going to be safe. And part of that journey, I deeply, deeply believe, of course, in the Buddhist part says, it says, Sangha is everything. Ananda just followed the Buddha around all the time. I don't know. He should have had some chores or something to do. That seems kind of stalky to me. But anyhow, I think I'd like to hear from other people. But Ananda says, yes, Sangha is important. And by Sangha, I mean community. And he said, yeah, it's everything. Because it is being with each other and breaking each other's heart and stepping on each other's toes that, I say, yeah. Again, I'm not talking about abuse situations. I have to say that because I know my own tendency to want to find a way out of this shit, And I think a lot of us had that tendency, right? We're going to bring up abuse. No, nobody's staying with somebody that's, mistreating you. You're not saying about no culty stuff. Okay. Might be interesting if that popped up. Did I really think that's what was being talked about? Or was this a way to get around the fact that we need each other? That is the path of growth. As we disappoint each other. Nobody's did anything wrong. I said I was going to come in at 8. I rolled in at 9. That might be a conversation, but are we going to stop loving each other? Returning to that spiritual majesty that connects, that says, I'm going to choose to be here now. I'm going to breathe and rock this baby now. And we're that baby, right? We're all that baby that's going to grow up and do some terrible things. Even if we don't think it's terrible, it's going to be terrible to somebody. I know I've done terrible things. And still, that stillness cuts away all shame and all blame. There is a kind of invulnerability to it. Not that I won't get hurt, but that inside is outside of that. It's an affirmation that, yeah, that happened. It's such a strange and hard thing to be on this path. It makes no sense. We don't even have the delusion of it's going to be all right. I mean, it's going to be all right, and then it's not going to be all right. To be aware, to choose to be aware, like that woman, like that Black woman in rocking that baby. And say, I'm going to stay. This is where I am. It's 1802. even though there were people that left the plantation but didn't go all the way. They just stayed close because they weren't going to leave their families like that. Stuff is complicated. Human beings are complicated. And we connect to that deep connection by choosing to be with each other, stumbling and crawling and walking and skipping and dancing on this path. And as we see each other dancing and skipping and falling and crying, and it's like, yeah, me too. It breaks down that delusion of separation and connects us all to still. That stillness. Because I believe everything in this path supports liberation. We're not getting liberated from age. We're not getting liberated from ill health. We're not getting liberated from death. We're not getting liberated from impermanence. We're not getting liberated from consequences. We're getting liberated to the truth of who we are. Somebody come up and say, Ayesha, you did this. Sometimes it's good. And I go, yes, I did. Yeah, thank you. But sometimes it means, yeah, you did this. But I can meet that. And I believe this path supports us to meet whatever shows up. Perhaps it's I'm making an effort to do a little better, but I can't do anything with shame. I can't do nothing with guilt and shame. That stillness that has that divine protection. That's what they used to call it, that protection. Somebody run up on you and want to do you harm, and they see you resting in that, and so sometimes they back off. They don't even want to fool with that light. It's like, no, I don't want to be around you. You don't even want to dance with me in delusion. I want to share this because, I love when spirit tell me about myself. Some of y'all are familiar with Journey, right? That movie, that wonderful poem, and it says, mend my life, and I used it as I left a situation because I was the hero, Mend my life is, though they call you to mend your life, you just keep going on. But as I was listening to these two drug addicts go through a situation, I live in a real neighborhood with real people. And I watched this woman. I love Baltimore because we got real white people here, not like DC where everybody's 25 and got 2 degrees and a size 0. And she's a white woman, broken nose. And she's hollering, she's following this black man similarly. I see him together all the time. But she's screaming at him. Saying, isn't it? And spirit just said, oh, that's you. Because the situation, men, I've done the right thing. I've tried to be normal, non-lesbian. I'm wearing 45 yards of fabric. Mend my life, do that magic thing that's gonna make it all right. I said, oh, isn't that cute? So yeah, I'm the one leaving, but I'm also the one hollering, right? I just how often to use that in a way not to be connected to that's within. Using everything not to be in that place that's unassailable. If I hadn't had this woman screaming at this man, that's community. It's like, yeah. See the guy on the corner with his walker still drinking? Yeah, we doing that. We are a gift to each other. I'll share a little Joy Harjo, because so often we forget. We're so, I believe I have in my life, because I didn't want to be with people, I didn't trust people. And so, in that way I was going to be safe. To retract is delusional. I'm not saying you don't have receipts, but the protection is that stillness. It's not the retraction, at least I have found. And in that stillness and the sangha of the earth, everything connected, I'm all right. I can have courage. And we will need courage with what's coming. Y'all can see a fancy thing, internet went out, food's gonna get shaky. We're gonna need each other. We're gonna need somebody that know how to grow something. Somebody that will hug us when we are cold, give us a coat. I offer this because this is not just our spiritual survival, being the capacity to be with each other as our authentic, messy selves is part of our material survival. So Joy Harjo, the indigenous sister, got a word of knowledge for us. And then perhaps the world ends here. The world begins at a kitchen table. No matter what, we must eat to live. The gifts of earth are brought and prepared, set on the table. So it has been since creation, and it will go on. We chase chickens or dogs away from it. Babies teethe at the corners. They scrape their knees under it. It is here that children are given instructions on what it means to be human. We make men on it. We make women. At this table, we gossip, recall enemies, and the ghosts of lovers. Our dreams drink coffee with us as they put their arms around our children. They laugh with us at our poor falling down selves. And as we put ourselves back up once again at the table. The table has been a house in the rain, an umbrella in the sun. Wars have begun and ended at this table. It is a place to hide in the shadow of terror, a place to celebrate the terrible victory. We have given birth on this table and have prepared our parents for burial here. At this table, we sing with joy, with sorrow. We pray of suffering and remorse. We give thanks. Perhaps the world will end at the kitchen table while we are laughing and crying, eating of the last sweet lime. May we choose to be at this table together. Thank you for allowing me to share from my heart. Ayesha bowing out. So inviting you to move around and bring up whatever you want to bring, or ask, or share, or we at the table together. Y'all at my house. Okay. The people trying to say, we think the internet is working now. I'll see later. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so come on in with the song, Eric. Thank you.
I forgive myself and I release all the things that don't serve me now. I forgive myself and I release all the things that don't serve me now. I forgive myself and I release all the things that don't serve me now. Oh yeah. I forgive myself and I release all the things that don't serve me now. Forgive myself. I forgive myself. And I release. Forgive myself. And I forgive myself and I release all the things that don't serve me now. I forgive myself and I release all the things that don't serve me now. I forgive myself and I release all the things that don't serve me now. I forgive myself and I release all the things that don't serve me now. Forgive myself. I forgive myself.
Yes. So calling in wisdom sharing, calling in whatever you like. You can put it in the chat. You can, if you'd like to.
So I appreciate your teaching as always. I love you.
Love you too, Puddin. Yeah.
Um, I'd just like to share very briefly this journey that I'm currently on, sort of relating to that particular still as like so intimate, you know, to my, it's just so specific, so intimate to my being. And starting to like, I don't know, I don't even have any like direction. Quality feels dishonest because it's like not that formed yet. uh, but like starting to play with the possibility that the intensity of that still and the like rage that I feel about not being able to have vanquished it through all of my sophistication yet, as being like a storehouse and wellspring of my actual power to give a shit about other people and about the world in ways that are most aligned and like most immediately accessible to me in like every moment because I'm there. And it doesn't mean it's like for everyone and everything, but like for the people who like are resonating with that, like I feel you. um and I'm almost hesitant to like go into this mode because it's like I don't want to like I don't like happy endings, right? I don't want to just like tie it up in a bow and be like, oh yes, it's the source of my healing power. But like it also is. and damn. And wishing it wasn't. And just like working that seesaw. I don't know if that makes any sense, but also how have I never heard this profound connection between still, and stillness? Like, holy shit. Thank you. Thank you very much, Miss Ayesha. this really was a kind of transmission for me. And yeah, just keep forgive and release.
I do want to add, since we're coming into the holidays, HOLLA, that one of the things about this time is that it can call out, it can holler at what it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to be. Yeah, holidays. I see you, Amanda. Okay, girl. Yeah. And this perversion, additional perversion in a generally inhuman system. At a time when Spirit is often calling for many of us to go deeper into the darkness, to the gifts of the darkness. And really want to introduce, and I think I'll be talking about this from now on, shamelessness as an antidote for that. Not being ashamed that you don't have a Norman Rockwell situation. The artist with the pretty pictures of Midwest America, where everyone is at a table. That's not the table Joy Harjo is talking about. So just wanting to introduce that, since at a time when we're supposed to be moving slower and deeper, folks are hollering, we're back to school, back. You played during the summer, okay, now we're back. And just, family don't do you like that. Community doesn't treat you that way. And hopefully what we're doing here is developing discernment to know how we should be treated, how we might be cared for, and not let these people pimp us. What am I doing? Bring that up. I want to affirm in this moment, this is the message I'm giving. Somebody loves you. Whether you're smoking, whether you're doping, whether you're procrastinating or overdoing, there is love. There is love. There is care. The grass is supporting you. Flowers are still blooming where I am, courageously blooming, and as the weather gets cooler, particularly inviting you into that awareness of care that is not conditioned. There's a gospel song that says somebody prayed for you. I'm not talking about the people that you know and mad with you, but there is within all of our lineages people that delight in us and our struggles and admire our choice to keep crawling and walking and dancing. We're not by ourselves in our crawling or our dancing. Perhaps bringing some awareness to that to lessen the efforting. I'm going to share this little song because some of y'all think you're too old to hear it. The gift of my lineage is that we're never too old to be held, to be sung to. So this is an old one. Listen, listen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of this world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Listen, listen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of this world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Listen, listen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of this world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. Let go, let go, let go. We've hit that, almost hit that colonizer time. Y'all know, we all know it's delusional, but we also know we're living within that delusion. And so that's who I love and respect, y'all, us that live within it. And I just want to call in the courage and the beauty of your choice to be on this path. And may whatever merit we have called up together and individually, may it touch each and every one of us, awakening us to that care, to that love. And may that energy move out, touching all beings in all realms, allowing them to see, to connect to the truth that nothing is wrong with us and we are free. Ashe, Amen. Namo Amida Butsu.